Hey guys, it's Katie. So today it is January 2nd, and to start off the new year, I've decided that I'm gonna start this crafting project. It's more so like a crochet blanket that you do over the span of a year, and since it's the beginning of the year, I decided that I would start this because it sounded like fun. I've been seeing these blankets all over Instagram and Pinterest, and they're called temperature blankets or thermometer blankets. And basically what you do is every day of the year you crochet one row of a certain color that corresponds with that day's temperature. So for example, today it's like 47 degrees. That's the high temperature in Ohio today, my area at least. So I would crochet a row of whatever color corresponds with that day that I picked or whatever. So I'm just getting started on this, so I figured I would take you guys along this journey with me and you guys can see what the blanket ends up looking like at the end of the year. I think I'll update like every month or so just to show you guys my progress, but today I'm going to be getting started on this blanket. So I just kind of want to show you guys how to set everything up and how to get everything ready for making this blanket. If you guys want to make one too, we can all make one together. If you do make one, be sure to tag me on Instagram. I'll post my name and everything's down below and stuff. So tag me on Instagram so I can see your guys' progress too. Let me know if you guys want to do this. It just seems like something really fun. So let's jump right in. So I am 2 days behind, but I've been writing down in my notepad. The light's bright. In my notepad I've been writing down the temperature for the day. So you could do this a few different ways. You can if you really want to crochet the row every day, you can, or you can go ahead and you can just write down the temperatures like I've been doing, and then at the end of each week you could crochet the past 7 days. You can even do it every 2 weeks or so, just kind of whatever fits your schedule. I'm just gonna kind of write things down, and whenever I have time I'm just gonna go and crochet. So the first thing that we need to do is come up with a temperature chart. So this is gonna totally depend on what kind of area you live in. If you live in a place that's a little bit more tropical, you might want to range from 60 to 100 degrees Fahrenheit or something like that. Just really depends. Here in Ohio we have kind of a crazy range. It was 60 degrees last Monday and now we're back in the 40s, and it was blizzarding the other day. Ohio's just crazy, so this blanket's gonna be pretty interesting. But here in Ohio we can go from -10 to 90 degrees in the summer. The weather here is crazy, I don't know. But I figured that would be really fun to do this blanket because of the giant range, and we'll get to see what it looks like at the end of the year. So I just went to the store, and Joann Fabrics right now is having a huge sale on yarn, and I think it goes until January 11th. So be sure to get out there and get some yarn because all their yarn is half off. I bought some Red Heart yarn and it was 2 for $5, so I got a really good deal. But I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the yarn that I purchased for this blanket. You guys can do any colors you want, however many you want. It's totally up to you, but these are the colors that I'm going to be using, so I'm going to go ahead and show you. So I went ahead and I got a rainbow of colors. So basically these are going to be my hotter temperatures, and then it's going to slowly go into my cooler temperatures. So I purchased a total of I have 8 different colors here, and they're just colors of the rainbow. You can use, of course, whatever you want, but this is what I'm going to be using. So those are my yarn colors. What I'm going to start doing is I'm actually going to write down the names of each of the yarn. That way if throughout the year I run out, I can always go buy some more. And I'm also going to write down what temperatures I want to use for those colors. So let's get started. So I lost the label for my red one, but we're just gonna write down red. So I just wrote down all of my colors of yarn that I have. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to write down the temperatures in which I will be using these colors for. So red's going to be my hottest, and lavender is going to be my coldest. So for lavender, I'm going to go with 22 degrees or below. Then pale plum is going to be my 23 degrees to 32 degrees. And then this Aruba Sea, we're going to go 33 degrees to 43 degrees. So I'm doing like 10 temperature intervals just because I don't have that many colors. So let's see, 44 degrees to 53. I'm gonna go 54 degrees to 66 degrees. And then 67 degrees to 77 degrees. And this will be 78 degrees to 88 degrees. Then we're just gonna go red will be 89 degrees and above, because it usually doesn't get much hotter than like 90 here. But who knows, we'll see. It's gonna be blue for a while because we're in the middle of winter. But there we go. So this is how I have my degrees broken up just in 10 intervals. You can do more or less depending on just your temperatures. But yeah, this is what I'm going to be doing. So you guys can do whatever you want. So depending how many colors you have, just divide your whatever your highest temperature is. You can divide it by however many you have, and that's how you will divide it up. So this is what I'm going to be doing. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut small pieces of the yarn and I'm going to tape it here just so I know what they all look like. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Alright, so I got all my little strings and I'm going to tape them down next to the corresponding name, just so I can keep a good log. It's a good idea to keep a log of these just so you know what you're doing. So that is all for the setup. So I have my little notepad, I have all the colors of the yarn that I'm using, the names of them in case I need to buy more. I wrote down the temperatures that I'm going to be using, and I taped down the actual colors just so it's a little bit easier in case I lose the labels or whatever. But yeah, so it's really good to keep one of these logs just so you can keep track. And of course I have another page where I'm just writing down all the temperatures for the days. That way I can just kind of keep track if I get behind and whatever. But that's all you need to do to set up this, and now it's actually time to get started. Oh, I also wrote down what hook I'll be using, that way in case I forget the hook or something, I can keep track, because you don't want to mess up your hooks. But I'm going to be using an H hook. So now we're just going to get started. You can make this as big or as small as you like. I'm going to be using half double crochets. You can of course use any other kind of pattern you want if you find like a pretty stitch, but I'm just going to be using half double crochets because I think they look nice and they're a little bit smaller because this is going to be 365 rows. So it's going to be a pretty large blanket, but you know, whatever, we'll see how big it turns out. And honestly, this is a really easy blanket to make. It doesn't take a lot of like energy because, you know, you're just doing it at your leisure. So honestly, this would be a really good project if you're looking to crochet your first Afghan or anything. If you're new to crocheting, you don't know how to crochet, I do have a video for beginner crochet that'll teach you some basic stitches and stuff, and of course they're like all over YouTube, so just look for that if you're not sure how to crochet. It's pretty simple once you get a hang of it. But if you want to do this project, don't be afraid to. Crocheting is like something really fun, and I think more people should do it, honestly. But don't be afraid, don't be intimidated. It's super simple once you get a hang of it. Do a few practice squares, and then maybe you guys can jump right on to this little project that I'll be doing throughout the year. And I'm really excited to see what my blanket looks like at the end of the year. And I'm also really excited to see what your guys' blankets look like, because you're all over the world. And it'll be interesting just to kind of compare different blankets, and it'll just be a really fun project. So please guys, join me on this. It'll be so much fun. Anyway, I'm gonna start crocheting this because it's day 2, so might as well get going. So I have 2 rows that I'm gonna be doing. I'll let you know how many chain stitches I'm using once I figure that out, because I want it to be pretty wide, so the width of the blanket is gonna be however many chain stitches you start out with. So I'll give you guys an idea what I'll be doing, but I'm just gonna get right into this because it's exciting. Okay guys, so I'm doing this based on high temperature, but of course you can just do it based on like whatever temperature it is when you look at it, but I'm just basing this on the high temperature for the day, just because, I don't know, it's easier than it makes it more consistent basically. So yesterday we had a high of 41 here, so I'm just gonna go back and look at my handy dandy little key here. So 41 degrees falls under the 33 to 43, which is my Aruba Sea color, so it's like this lightish blue color. So I'm gonna start my blanket using this color. So I just got my good old roll of yarn here, so I'm just gonna pull some out of the center pool, just because it makes it a little bit easier than trying to unravel it from the other end, but of course do whatever you guys like. So I'm just gonna pull out some yarn. Now we're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna create my slip knot, put it around my hook, and I'm gonna start chaining. Okay guys, so I went ahead and I did 200 of these chain stitches. That's just going to be my foundation. It's pretty wide. I think it's a good width for a blanket, so that's where I stopped. Of course, where you guys stop is going to completely depend on what kind of yarn you're using, what gauge hook, or what size hook and what gauge and everything you end up having with your blanket, but 200 chains was wide enough for me. It's all personal preference, of course. I just want something, I think that's a good width for me. So now I'm gonna go ahead and with the same color, because I don't really count the foundation chains as a row, so I'm just gonna go ahead with the same color and I'm gonna go and do my half double crochets all the way across this. And then I'll come back and we'll switch colors and we'll start row 2 for today. So this is yesterday's thing. So it's always a good idea to chain one more when you're doing a half double crochet, just so you don't lose like any chains. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start my half doubles. Get some yarn. And you can of course use any stitch that you guys want. It doesn't really matter. You could of course make this as intricate as you like. but I just want something that'll go by pretty quick so I can just kind of pick this up every day or every couple of days and just get it done. And plus, half double crochets are pretty small. What I might end up doing is I might be doing like a rib stitch maybe with these half doubles. I haven't decided yet. Or I just might go straight on with just half doubles. And, you know, whatever. Because there are going to be 365 of these. And there we go, the first row is complete for day 1, and I'm gonna move on to day 2 now. So let me see. So day 2, which is today. So day 2, which is today, the temperature high is 47. So handy dandy chart. You're going to be switching to the color Minty. So it's this mint green color. So let's do it. Already changing colors. Yeah. So I'm just going to go ahead. There's going to be so many ends to like tie in for this. But, you know. We're going to go ahead and I'm just going to snip off this blue color. And I'm going to go in and grab my mint color. So, here is my mint color. So I'm just going to pull some of that out of there. And we're going to change our colors. So, I'm going to change over to this mint green color. Just slip stitch that in there and then chain 1. And turn it around. And now I'm going to go and start doing some more half double crochets on the other side. I think I'm just going to go for a full-on basic half double crochet pattern. Nothing fancy. Blanket's gonna look really cool at the end of the year. Anyway, you're gonna have like all these little loose ends. So you can of course just start sewing these in after every few rows. That way you're not like killing yourself at the end of the year when you have like a million little ends to sew in. That's probably what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna sew these in as I go. But yeah, I'm gonna finish this row and then I'll be right back, guys. Hey guys, so I just finished doing my second row on this blanket. So this is what it looks like. It's kind of hard to see the difference just because the blue and the mint look pretty similar. But this is just my 2 rows so far and it's super long. And I'm really excited to see how this is going to end up turning out as the days go by. I want to see how many times the colors change. It's just going to be so much fun to do. And I'm really excited because no 2 blankets are alike. But yeah, that is all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this and I hope you guys do your own temperature blankets and be sure to tag me, share pictures on Instagram, show me what you guys are doing because I'm really interested to see how different everyone's turns out. But I will see you guys next month with an update for this. And here's a cat. And anyway, I'll see you guys next month for an update on this. Once I have a little bit more rows done, we'll see how the colors look. It'll be so much fun. Anyway, Make sure to give this video a big thumbs up, like it down below, just because I know there's weird stuff going on with YouTube, and it'd be great if this video can get some kind of like attention. So give it some like, share it, comment down below, whatever, just get it so that it shows some interactions on it so people can actually see this video. And I will see you guys in my next video, and hopefully it's not next month. Bye.